Yeah, Kirby, the question now is about the SEC championship game, the conference championship games, and they're playing so many games now. I can see why they may go back to what we did before the championship games, and that was whoever had the best record in the conference is the champion. And, of course, well, your schedule has a lot to do with it. Well, it's always had a lot to do with it, and that was one reason Alabama won so many. Is because they never wanted to play Florida, because Bear Bryant said if we play Florida and they beat us once or twice, they're going to start recruiting all those great players in Florida. Now I can go down there and get a bunch of them.
Another Dooley Noted podcast comes to you from the Coach's Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Celebration Point. Okay, welcome into another Dooley Noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios. Special shout out to Titan MRI and Imaging because Joe Calorio is connected to the horse that won the Kentucky Derby. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but congratulations to them over at Titan MRI and Imaging. We appreciate them. Coach Spurrier will be in here today and talk about that and some other things. Obviously, Robbie Andreu for Yes, No, Where, Maybe. And Carlos Alvarez will join us for Thursday's show. I can't wait to talk to him about a bunch of stuff. In fact, kind of getting an assessment about this wide receiver room and what he thinks they can do offensively. And then Coach Spurrier will be back next Monday, and then still working on the next Thursday's guest. We'll let you know who it is. Let us get to our Money Metals starting five. MoneyMetals.com is your home for gold and silver purchases, one of the largest distributors in all of the United States. 2 Gator grads are running it, and you can reach them at 1-800-800-1865 or at MoneyMetals.com. Okay, let's get, by the way, I got a email from Mike at Money Metals. They're about to have a 1 ounce silver coin that's got a Gator logo on it. He's going to send me one when we get it, and we'll show it to you. And it sounds like a great deal there. Gator coin, a pure silver, man. You can't do better than that. I'm going to give one to Zach because he means so much to me. And Zach, by the way, has written a book, and it's going to get here eventually, right?
Yeah, well, eventually they'll come in.
Yes, but he's written. Give me the name of the book, Zach.
It's called The Amy Construct.
Yeah,
sci-fi book.
Sci-fi book. So if you want to go on,
it's on
BarnesandNoble.com.
Yeah.
Just look under Zach Rothrock or go under Keegan Rothrock and say, no, I meant Zach. Keegan Rothrock's written a book too called How to Pitch.
There you go.
I was going to say something negative about her, but because she gave up some hits the other day, but I'm not going to do that. I never would do that. You know me. All right. Let us get on our Money Metal starting five to number one, which to me this weekend was the baseball. And look, I had the hammer ready to come down. I was like, okay, maybe it's because Chuck Girolamo went to Tennessee, and maybe it's because Sully had the leave of absence, and maybe it's because blah blah blah, and they didn't construct the roster properly, and let's. I mean, I'm not calling for anybody's job, but I'm just saying maybe they just didn't get it done right after they lose that Monday night or Friday night game. That Friday night loss was one of the worst losses of the season because you got the lead. Aiden King's been unbelievable, and then you just kind of pee it away. It happens in baseball. It's a sport that is, you get 27 outs no matter what. And I'm ready to give up on them. And then what happened? I'm not saying give up. I would never divorce Gator baseball. But we were talking about a trial separation. And then what happens? They come back. They win the game on Saturday. They win the game on Sunday with 7 homers in the game. And I'm just watching the game, and I'm like, on the ESPN Plus or whatever it was, and I'm watching the game, and I'm like, that went out too? That's another homer? It was unbelievable. 4 homers in one inning. They had 4 homers and 4 hit batters. So obviously Oklahoma's back end pitching is not great, and they're not a great team either. But still, to win that game. A great series win. The wind did play a part in some of those homers, but look, the one that blew. Now again, I can't see whether I'm not at the stadium, so the announcers who were Oklahoma announcers were saying basically that the ball that Hayden Yost hit, which kind of got things started, was foul, and then all of a sudden it blew in fair, but it may have blown in fair behind whatever. They counted as a home run. That's all I care about. And the Gators just went nuts, and that was fun. So here we go. We've fallen back in love with this team, of course. When anytime you rule a team on the road, and this team plays so good on the road, they're a better road team than our home team, to be honest with you, in the SEC. And so you fall back in love, and guess what? They're going to give you some kind of disappointment, and it could come Tuesday night against UNF here in Gainesville. Then they play Kentucky here in Gainesville to wrap up maybe the home schedule. We don't know yet. They're right there where they could still be a host. They're not going to host Super Regionals. We know that. But you've basically got 3 games left against Kentucky, 3 games at LSU, which is still going to be hard. I know LSU's having a struggle, but I think they swept this weekend, but it was South Carolina. South Carolina's bad in baseball. You know that. That Palmineri hire was a weird hire, and then it blew up on them.
Ever since Ray Tanner became the AD.
Yes, I know. He never should have left.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But you got those 7 games, and then at least one in the SEC tournament. So we'll see how it goes from here. This isn't a great team, but there's times when they are a great team. You know, there's times when Brendan Lawson is good. I don't think he had a hit the whole weekend. I think he went 0 for 12. He's struggling with something, and I know they say sinuses are part of the problem. I don't know what's going on with him, but anyway, it was certainly a big win. Kentucky, by the way, 11-13 right now in the SEC, which is only Florida's 13-11. So it's obviously an important series. Florida needs to go out and take care of business. You need to win. You need to win game 1 with Aiden King on the mound, who's the best pitcher you've had probably since, I can make an argument, since the Brady Singer-Faedo years when they won the national title. I mean, this guy is pitching ridiculously. Go win the game, okay? And then set it up for the rest. Get his 7 innings. Bring your relievers in, make them get the job done. Well, you can't make them, but anyway, that's. I was ready to bash them, and now I'm back in love with them. This is the way Florida baseball's been this year. It's like you're ready to divorce them, and then all of a sudden they show up, they walk into Spurrier's in a low cut outfit, and you're like, why did I want to dump her? She looks great. Or the other way around, a guy walks in and he's got I don't want to be sexist here. What's wrong with being sexy? All right, let's get to number 2 on softball, which would be a not so much happy days because they win the first game. They're up 7-2 in the second game. Man, they're just destroying Georgia, and then they just poop the bed. There's no other way to put it. They didn't play well. They brought in Ava Brown, who hadn't pitched all year. You can question the decision, but he's got to get her ready. He's got to hope she's the second pitcher. She wasn't that night. They brought in, I think they ran in four or five pitchers, including Keegan Rothrock at the end, and just did not go well. From 7-2, I think they gave up 7 runs in the inning, and that kind of set the tone for the rest of the weekend. They lose 2 out of 3. They weren't going to win the league anyway. But what they've got to do is reset everything. And I do think this. I think Tim Walton is very good at not letting one loss become 2. Well, you could make an argument. He did let one loss become 2, but not letting a bad weekend become a bad second weekend. He's very good at doing that. And I know he's going to be out there hitting ground balls to people because that defense – 5 errors in the last 2 games was not Florida-like. You know that. So here's where we are. Florida will play Thursday against either. There's 3 teams they could play, but they'll probably play one. Auburn, Missouri, and A&M. So Auburn plays Missouri, and then the winner plays A&M, and then the winner of that plays Florida. So you're still in fine shape if you want to try to win the tournament. Thursday at 11 a.m. is when the Gators play. So we'll be doing the show and probably wrapping up right around the time that Florida starts playing. So that'll be cool, and watch that. But just know that going ahead. All right. Let's get to number 3 on our MoneyMetals.com starting 5, and that is brought to you by Money Metals, where a Gator gold silver coin is about, pure silver coin is about to be released. We'll let you know when it is. All right. So the Kentucky Derby was, I thought I had no skin in the game, but I was kind of rooting for, what was it, Much Ado or Ado About Nothing or whatever that. I just liked the name. And then people started picking. I'm like, oh, I may be onto something here. Maybe I should bet on it. And again, this is why I don't bet. I don't gamble. What I didn't know is that my good friend. Further Ado, that's it. My good friend, Joe Calorio, who sponsors this podcast, is a presenting sponsor from Titan MRI and Imaging. His horse was involved in it. I did not know that. He did not let me know that. He's let me know it in the past. Maybe he didn't let me know it because I jinxed it before. But anyway, his horse was Golden Tempo. Now, I say his horse. It's his wife's sister is a trainer, but not the trainer, but she's like in charge of picking the horse. His wife's sister picked this horse, and this horse was obviously very good. Anyway, so we have a local connection to the Derby. 19.6 million people watched it. I watched it, but I did not watch all of it. I don't like the pregame. I don't care. I don't care about anybody. Nobody has ever delivered a pregame to me since the olden days of TV when you had 3 channels and it was like, Musburger and Phyllis George and Jimmy DeGree doing the pregame. Then you'd watch it. I never watch pregames. I never watch game day. Even when they're in Gainesville, I watch maybe 5 minutes and I go, I don't care. I already know what. I've already been talking about it. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is Gainesville wins the Derby. That's what I'm going to – can we say that? That Gainesville won the Derby. The city of Gainesville with a Derby winner. We ought to erect a statue to Golden Tempo. Anyway, from last to first, horse was in last place and then ended up in first. If you're not first, you're last. But if you're last, you can still be first.
Oh, yeah.
This is a Ricky Bobby ism, I guess. All right, let's get to number 4 on our MoneyMetals.com starting 5, and that is that the NBA Elite 8 is set, if you want to call it that. We might as well call it that. They call it the quarterfinals. Obviously, the Magic did not get it done. I think when they went 0 for 23 in the when they at home when they had a chance to win it all. And they missed 23 straight shots. That kind of sealed their fate. That's hard to come back from. So here's what we got. OKC, LA. I think OKC. That'll be an interesting series to watch because LeBron has been playing so well. And, Doncic isn't coming back. But Reeves is back. It'll be interesting to watch. Minnesota, San Antonio. I've kind of become a little bit of a San Antonio fan because I love watching Wemby play. So I'll be rooting for them in that series. And Anthony Edwards plays for them, and he's a dog, so I can't root for him. Pistons, Cavs. Going to be Pistons, Knicks.
No, you're right.
Pistons, Cavs. I'm sorry. Knicks and 76ers. That's what it is. Yeah. It's hard when you get all these East teams. They all seem like they're bludgeoning each other, and you kind of confuse them. Yeah, Pistons, Cavs, and then Knicks, 76ers. It's the NBA. I'll watch some of it, but we talked about this before. All these different channels and all these different. You got to stream it. You got to. I don't know how much I'll watch, but I'll watch some. But anyway, the NBA quarterfinals are set. That was always the cool thing about being out in Oklahoma City for the softball, is I would always be out there when the NBA finals were out. So if I had a long stretch, and sometimes it would be 7 or 8 days, you could watch the whole finals out there and go to all these different bars. And Toby Keith's bar was the best one. I love that one. God bless his soul. All right. Let us move to number 5 on our MoneyMetals.com starting 5, and that is Steve and Christine Wendig present the Olympic Gator of the Weekend, brought to you by Steve and Christine Wendig at Boss Hart Realty. They do a tremendous job there. If you want, for any of your needs, if you want looking for a house or want to sell a house, Steve and Christine Wendig are the people to go to. We're going to go with Valerie Janina, who's on the women's tennis team, and she played well yesterday. They lost in the it would be the round of 16, but she won, and she beat the number 8 player in the country, Piper Charney. So give her credit. I mean, I'm not that familiar with women, and to be honest, I'm not that familiar with men's tennis. But Valerie Janina, she won in her doubles. She won in singles. To me, that's 2 points. They scored 2. So I look, we had a hard time having a softball player of the week after what happened this weekend. But we'll go with tennis. Valerie Janina is our Steve and Christine Wendig Olympic Gator of the weekend. All right. That is going to do it for our MoneyMetals.com starting 5. Don't forget, you can get 1 ounce of pure silver and a Gator logo. I've seen it. They're going to send me one. When I get it, I'll show it to you. That'll be available at MoneyMetals.com very soon. We'll let you know when it is. All right. When we come back, Coach Spurrier will join us, and then Robbie Andreu. It's a Meldon Law Monday. What is it called? Meldon Monday. That's what it's called. All right. The words are not coming out of my mouth. All right. Let's take a break. We'll come back with Coach Spurrier here on another duly noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios.
Titan MRI, North Central Florida's premier independent diagnostic testing MRI facility. At Titan MRI, we're focused on you, the patient, having a great customer experience. Our MRI equipment is modern and 75% quieter than any unit in its class. And our MRI unit has one of the largest openings of any of the newer high-strength MRI units, which allows comfortable scanning for potential claustrophobic and larger patients. At Titan MRI, we look forward to serving you.
All right, it may be a new year, but it doesn't mean you have to back off any of your goals as far as losing weight. I know I've been working even harder on it, and of course I get an assist from BMI TeleMed. They help us out with our New Year's resolutions, even if I've already broken 2 of them. Not the food ones, though. Weight loss is your goal. Get with BMI TeleMed. They use GLP-1 medications, and they are individualized, and that's the great thing. I've been through this, and Charlie, just talking to him, it was so great to make him understand, and he understood what I was doing. It's not about just losing weight. It is about keeping it off. You know that. We're all excited about the new year, and we're going to lose weight, but when you lose it in the first month, then you got to keep going. BMI TeleMed is sensible. It's straightforward. It's affordable. No contracts or hidden costs. BMI TeleMed is donating $1 for every pound you lose to the Florida Victorious Foundation. So go Gators. Join the listeners on this podcast who've already lost over 600 pounds. Are you kidding me? I'm 60 of them right there. All right. Contact BMI TeleMed today at 727-383-1677.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, 2 things haven't: our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
Okay, welcome back to another duly noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios. and it's always great on a Meldon Monday to bring back Coach Spurrier. He's been gone for a couple of weeks. You had a speaking engagement and then a golf tournament to play in, right?
Yeah, I tell you what, last weekend we were up at Reynolds Plantation, Lake Oconee, Georgia. Urban Meyer and Mike Norvell had won that golf tournament 2 years in a row, and I won it with Sterling Sharp. Gosh, 07, 08 back-to-back, I think it was. We had a bunch of runner-ups after that. But anyway, we had the little scramble the first day, and I was with a pretty good little team that caught second place. And then we got rained out. The tournament got rained out first time ever, and they're just going to split up the prize between 16 teams I think we had ready to go there. But, yeah, Urban was up there, and a bunch of coaches, a bunch of retired coaches now. Gus Miles.
Was Kirby there?
Yeah, Kirby came.
Kirby's been making a lot of news lately. He's been talking about how he thinks the 2000, what was it, 20 or 2002, 3, 4. I mean, and his old Alabama teams would kill everybody now because he thinks the depth is not there because teams are
spreading
it off, spreading it out.
Well, he could have a point because Saban's 18 years there. I think 15 years had number one recruit class in the country. Yeah. And those guys don't just say, well, I'm going somewhere else the next year. They waited and waited. And so they're not playing against some of the best players in the country when you got them on your second team. So, but, yeah, Kirby, the question now is about the SEC championship game, the conference championship games. And they're playing so many games now. I can see why they may go back to what we did before the championship games. And that was whoever had the best record in the conference is the champion. And, of course, well, your schedule has a lot to do with it. Well, it's always had a lot to do with it. And that was one reason Alabama won so many is because they never wanted to play Florida. Because Bear Bryant said, if we play Florida and they beat us once or twice, they're going to start recruiting all those great players in Florida. Now I can go down there and get a bunch of them. But anyway, it is interesting. And now that we've started having these playoffs, I think the team that was ranked number one in the nation most of the whole year has not won it, have they?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Even Ohio State.
But didn't Texas start out number one last year? I think they did.
They didn't even make the field.
And they didn't even make the field, yeah.
So,
and they'll be number one this year, probably.
But with if they go to 16, which, 16.
What do you want, 16 or 24? Do you care?
No, I think 16's plenty. Yeah, I really do. But they may have to scratch the conference championship game. Then it comes back to, sort of scheduling. What's your schedule? I used to always get upset. Well, not always, but when I was coaching in South Carolina, our teams we played in the Western Division beat us. We'd lose 2 games over there, and we beat everybody in the Eastern Division. Yeah. So we beat Georgia, beat Missouri. We beat everybody, but we lost 2 over there. And then 1 year Missouri only lost to us, and Georgia only lost to us, and they won the division that year and went and played for the SEC championship. So it's never going to be exactly fair in college football, but that's about as fair as you can get it when you got 100 and something teams and so forth.
Well, that's the truth, and I remember. Back in the 90s, it was the East was a dominant conference or division. And then all of a sudden it shifted with Saban and everything to the West. And again, Florida stayed, the SEC East stayed the dominant conference when Urban was here, but then it shifted after 2009, which was a tough year for Florida fans. But they only went 13-1. Imagine if a team went 13-1 today. Right now for Florida, how happy everybody would be. That team was 13-1. Everybody was miserable. They hated it. Oh, my God.
Yeah, 13-1's a pretty good record, no question about that. And really, Urban could have – actually, South Carolina, we knocked him out twice.
I know.
And actually, the first year, 05 and then 010, if they'd beat us, they'd played for the SEC. But anyway –
well, I remember that because the headline was that if Florida could beat South Carolina and Auburn wins this night, Florida will be the champion. And then you came out to the press conference and goes, you Florida writers should write who's what would you say?
Well, during the week, a couple of them wrote about, they interviewed the players and the coaches. Where are you going to watch the Auburn-Georgia game Saturday night?
Yeah.
Now, and I know you got to take care of South Carolina, but after that, y'all get back home. Is there a team viewing party or whatever? And they answered it correctly, but I couldn't help it. After we won the game, I went in there and I said, I want to ask you, Florida sports writers, where is everybody going to watch that Auburn-Georgia game tonight? Yeah, it was sort
And
of.
the funny thing is, I watched it in a hotel in Columbia, and Georgia, Auburn won that game.
Auburn won
Yeah.
the game. Yeah, Auburn
So
won the
it
game.
would have been a great night for Gator fans, but it didn't
Yeah.
work out because you kicked their ass.
Yeah,
But
you've got to be careful not to listen to those sports writers.
That's
They can assume things are going to happen that don't always happen. I've
No.
learned that for sure.
Nah.
But anyway.
No, it's no doubt about that. So we had a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Gator baseball, just when I was getting ready to bury him, has a kind of a comeback and wins the last two games of their series. So they're at a ridiculous number of quad one wins because they keep beat the teams they aren't supposed to beat. So it's weird, but they're still sitting there where they're going to probably host a regional, but probably not a super regional. But this is a weird team. It has been up and down and up and down and up and down.
Yeah, baseball is a sport that when the tournaments start, that's the time you got to get hot.
Yeah.
If you can get hot, you can make a run, and whatever's happened during the regular season, you can overcome it.
Yep.
Or sometimes if you do very well in the regular season but not in the tournament, you sort of wish it was the other way around. But tournament play, basketball and baseball, that determines the champions in the long run.
And Florida hitting 7 home runs yesterday didn't hurt either, you know.
We're capable. We're certainly capable
Yeah.
of making a big run here.
They could be, yet they're capable of going 2 and out too. You know that because they've been that way all year.
Well, how about the Kentucky Derby this week?
That was pretty cool.
It only takes 2 minutes to watch it, so
Yeah.
I'll watch that thing. And our man from Ocala, Joe Calorio, that was he's part owner, I think, of the horse Golden Tempo, and then of course the first female trainer ever, Monique Delk, I think is her name. And there it is. There he is coming from behind. That's his first opening
He's
right
last.
there.
He was last.
He
at
was
one
dead
point,
last
yeah.
at one coming out of the gates. And there he goes. And he made a good move to stay wide. There's no way he could have got through all of that group right there. And there he goes sneaking around the back. Fortunately, those guys moved over a little bit for him. And,
They did. It was like,
there
we'll
goes- yeah.
let you by. But I mean, it reminded me of Seabiscuit. I don't know if you ever saw that movie, Seabiscuit movie. It's a great movie. And
really
that
was.
horse would be way behind, go, okay, it's time to go. And it would just take off.
Yeah, that was quite a finish. And I'm sure the TV ratings were sky high. For
They
the-
were unbelievable.
Derby.
19.6 million people watched.
Golden
Kentucky
Tempo.
Derby.
Yeah. And the other horse, Renegade, was one of the favorites.
Got stuck on that inside
And their
corner.
owner is a guy that owns the new football league, the AFL, that are playing right now.
Yeah, UFL.
So, UFL. Yeah,
Yeah,
AFL.
whatever.
It was AFL last year.
Yeah.
UFL this year. You're right.
You can't keep
Yeah.
changing names. Though.
Well, you got to change when you got a new owner.
That's right.
Yeah. But anyway, had some good games yesterday. I watched. Who did I watch? I watched the game in Birmingham.
Oh, yeah, I did watch
Birmingham
some
played
of that game. yeah.
Orlando, and Birmingham beat them, and they were 1-4, and Orlando was 4-1.
So they may get
So-
in the playoffs.
so
I
it's
saw
any-
Elijah
yeah.
Badger out there, a former Gator. So that was.
Yeah.
I don't think there are enough Southeastern Conference players in this league because that's the only reason I'm going to get interested. You know, but it certainly was fun to watch. Just to watch some football because we're getting close to the dead zone in sports. Where all we're going to have are majors in golf. That's the only reason to watch TV. But also softball had a rough weekend. Didn't do well, losing 2 of the last 3 to Georgia. So their tournament starts, and like you said, this is when it gets. And I know you know Tim Walton. He gets his teams refocused very well. He does a good job of that. If they have a bad weekend, he's going to be out there hitting them ground balls until they don't make any more mistakes.
Speaking back to golf, though, this guy Cameron Young
Yeah.
that won at Doral by 6 shots, something like that. and he called a penalty on himself.
He did.
But, I mean, the way he hit the ball and the way he putted and chipped, he's the best golfer in the world, I think, right now. But now Rory's
2
still
of the
right.
last 4.
Yeah.
He's won. Yeah.
But he hits it a long way, and he made every 6, 8, 10-footer I think he looked at just about. So that's how you win by six or 7 shots.
Well, you're a stickler for the rules.
Yeah.
And I know that when you see that happen, you go, well, that's rub of the green. You know, I mean, it's the way the rules are set, and you'd rather have that than a guy rolling the ball over in the rough.
Well, yeah, the penalty was when he put his club behind it.
Yeah.
It moved a little bit.
Yeah.
Were they rolling the ball in the fairway yesterday?
I don't think so because
well,
they were waiting for rain. So I'm not sure on that.
Okay, I'm not exactly sure either because I didn't see anybody do it, but they mentioned something about, you can move your ball or something like, I don't know. But, yeah, he called it on himself. In replay, I didn't see it move, but maybe it did move.
I can tell you that
16th of an inch.
The day before I was playing golf,
Yeah.
and I put my putter down on a fringe putt,
Yeah.
and the ball moved a little bit. I wasn't counting a stroke against myself. It's hard enough for me to get.
Yeah, we roll the ball, so it should never affect the way our rules. Yeah,
That's
our rules are different. Yeah, we roll it just
How do
about
you feel
everywhere.
about the root rule? If you're on a root in the rough, you should be able to drop it, right?
Oh, certainly, move it. Yeah,
We call it the Timuquana root rule because
Yeah.
Timuquana's roughs is all roots.
a lot of roots.
So we call it that. We do have the play of the weekend to get to as well.
Okay.
And that is Caden McDonald had a day on Saturday in Oklahoma. This was his 2-run homer. The guy who most people didn't even know about him, 4 hits, and then came in and pitched 3 innings. That's like in the old days when you were pitching. You come in, pitch, hit, do everything. It reminded me of Wilkerson, that kind of day.
Yeah. Well, I didn't come in. In high school, if I started it, I finished every game because we only had 2 pitchers. So
Two pitchers in the whole team?
Yeah. Well, really, that was it. Yeah.
What if you got down like 17-0? Would somebody come in and just throw knuckleballs?
We never got behind like that. We only lost 2 games each year, my junior and senior year. So,
So 17-0 wasn't in the.
No, it didn't. It didn't happen like that.
No, absolutely. All right, there's a lot of we got a lot of stuff going on going forward. It is, like I said, the end of everything. And I'm curious to see where John Summerall is going to be going on. Is he going to do a tour this year? Somebody asked me about it. I don't know the answer to that, but we'll find out. But, I mean, he has been very vociferous in going out and speaking to a lot of people. And I wonder if he's going to be like this his second year.
No, I think he will be. He's a fireball, gun-ho, all-energy coach. He really is. I still think we do those Gator clubs around the state in the summertime. I know I did 22 to 23 every year. I think they only do 8 to 10 now. I'm not sure though.
Well, the guy who kind of curtailed it was Urban. He didn't want to do all those. But I mean, you go out and play golf. And
we'd have a golf tournament usually that afternoon, and then come back and do the Gator Club, and take a bunch of pictures. Sign a few autographs or whatever. And
but you're thinking you couldn't believe the same people would always want to get your picture taken with you. They were the same people. They already had a picture with you. So why would they want another picture?
Every year.
Every year.
Well, that's what we did back in those days. Hey, Bobby Bowden did 20, 25 of them every year too, Seminole clubs. And he would tell the same old corny jokes I would about us. But for some reason, when I would say them about the Seminoles,
they would become a big deal.
They got more. They got more press than some of his corny jokes, I guess. I don't know.
The one that really got Larry Guest going, your buddy, was in Jacksonville when you said that, hey, well, the mayor's just trying to look out for you guys, and he took it as something totally different. You said that's not true. That's not what I said. You go listen to anybody. That was a good one. That was interesting.
Yeah. But it all worked out, and when football season starts, all the talk in the summer, it really is history. It's your 11 against their 11. a whole bunch of plays and see who can play the best and score the most points.
So talking season, which you invented, starts after. Does it start after
Pretty
all
soon.
the baseball and softball are done? After that's all done.
Well, it's right before the team reports, and I think they get a month now before the first
Right.
game. So they have the event in. Well, it used to be in Birmingham.
It's in Tampa this year.
It's in Tampa this
Yeah.
year. Okay, I thought
You should make an appearance. You should go
No,
down there.
I-
No, you and me should go down there and walk in and say, "Hey, here's the old guard, the OGs for coming in."
I'll watch on TV if nothing else is on. Yeah. But anyway,
You're not looking forward to Greg Sankey's introductory speech, is that what you're saying?
I don't know what he's going to talk about, but probably the money and so forth. If they could set a big budget for everybody,
Yeah.
say this is your budget, and stick with it. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Well, now basketball's going to the 76 team playoff, which a lot of people are going to think is too many. I'm okay with it because if it means more games, I'm good. More teams get in, but I don't know where football is going to settle, if it's ever going to settle. We're at 12. Sankey wants 16. The Big Ten wants 24. They want more teams in. I don't know what's going to happen here. It's unbelievable to think we're sitting here having this conversation, though, Steve. All the years that you had to wonder if you were even. I remember after you won the national title, you wanted to make sure they voted on it. The vote's in, right?
We didn't know we'd won it. Norm Carlson came by on the floor of the Sugar Bowl and said, or he called me by my middle name, we just won the national championship. And I said, well, have they already voted? They got to vote on it. We were still voting back then. He said, no, but I think they're going to. And I said, well, let's wait. I don't want to be a fool hugging everybody until we know that we are the national champs. So a little later, they said, we are the national champs. Okay.
Now, I was going to ask you this question. I've wanted to ask you this forever. 5220, which is the beer here, which is the only beer I drink here
It's a good one.
at Spurrier's, yeah. But was there ever a point where you said, let's run it up a little bit? Because I think you called all running plays from that once you got ahead by a lot, right?
We threw one pass in the fourth quarter in that game. And the week before against Alabama, the 45-28 game, we only threw one pass in the fourth quarter there. We were able to run the ball and run the dang clock out.
Yeah.
And throw one good pass. We hit one good completion. So we were
had
running
Fred
the
and
clock
Terry
out
and,
and happened to score along the way. Simple as that. Yeah, we didn't want to do anything stupid. So we could run the ball. Fred Taylor and those guys, I tell you,
Terry Jackson was
the passing game got a lot of press, but the ability to run the ball makes you a champion, I think.
I think at the end of the year, you ended up with like 50-50.
Almost 50-50,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Runs and passes, exactly.
All right, Coach, you got anything else?
No, that's about it, I think. Just getting ready for another week of, the sports here and so forth.
Yeah, Gator
Softball,
baseball's home, final
yeah,
home
yeah.
series. Softball will be 11 o'clock in the morning. I have to get up early
Yeah.
to watch that
Yep.
on Thursday.
So a little slower period sports-wise, except for softball and baseball. And
Lacrosse,
is still going at it. Yeah.
They
Okay.
play Friday night out in Colorado, so in the NCAA tournament. So we'll see what happens. All right,
All righty.
we'll let Coach go. We'll be back with more, and we always appreciate Meldon Law for sponsoring his segments. We'll be back with more of another Dooley Noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, and coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios.
By now, you heard about the Florida Legends Experience and Gala, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Warfel, and Steve Spurrier, all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Adams Rib Company has been a staple of Gainesville for more than a decade and a staple of the Dooley house ever since Kelsey's teeth came in. The first time I walked into Adams, I told my daughter that the green beans are always a test of a great barbecue restaurant, and they were perfect. You know, about the ribs that melt in your mouth, and my favorite, the turkey plate. But be sure to go in on Fridays for Nana's Fish Nuggets. They will melt in your mouth. Adams Ribco, a Gainesville great.
Great food, great atmosphere, a diverse menu, everything made from scratch, plenty of space, and locally owned. These are all the characteristics of a great restaurant, and you can find each and every one of them right here in Gainesville at Ballyhoo Grill. Ballyhoo Grill prepares all of their food fresh every day, from their salad dressing to their award-winning soups. Bring your family and enjoy dinner under the Tim Trebo Tiki Hut while listening to live music. Or if you're running low on time to eat out, they also deliver through Uber Eats, Bite Squad, and Postmates. A Gainesville staple that's been open for over 30 years. Check out Ballyhoo Grill on Facebook or at ballyhoogrill.com.
Give me 60 seconds and I'll show you why you should be buying silver and how to get started. Recent price spikes in groceries, healthcare, gasoline, steel, and lumber tell the story of inflation, as do raging bull markets in equities and housing. As the reality of all this inflation sinks in, investors will be acting quickly to diversify and protect themselves, their families, and their assets. That's why we're offering our Silver Starter Kit to help you get started in holding tangible wealth. This mix of our most recommended forms of silver includes 9 silver coins, totaling 4 troy ounces of fine silver. These pure silver coins have a low bid-ask spread, the difference between the price you pay to buy and the price you receive to sell. Low transaction costs are one reason Investopedia calls Money Metals the best dealer in America. Don't waste any more time. Start protecting your savings today with physical precious metals at moneymetals.com/go.
Okay, welcome back to another Dooley Noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, home of the Kentucky Derby winner. That's the way we should now announce it from now on. It is great to go to our Big Mills Cheesesteaks Zoom line and bring on Robbie Andreu, who is joining us, as he always does on Mondays, Meldon Mondays. Robbie, did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, Patrick. Always good to see you. Ready for another good day.
Yeah, well, let's have a good day today. It's a beautiful day out there. Yeah.
Oh, gorgeous.
And we'll play Yes, Nowhere, maybe brought to you by Big Mills Cheesesteak Street Dining, done the right way. If you go in there and say you listen to this podcast, you get free French fries with your order, and I would like some free French fries right now. I'm really hungry. Anyway.
That sounds good to me, too.
Yep. All right, let's get to number one on Yes, Nowhere, maybe for Robbie Andreu, who many of you don't know is a huge Knicks fan. Robbie, you were fired up about Knicks Pistons this week.
To be honest with you, yes, I am, Pat. I mean, the Knicks have kind of reeled me in the way they've played and the way they came back. And that game the other night was incredible. At one point, it was like 90-something to 30-something or something like that.
I know. It was unbelievable.
But the thing is, the Knicks have brought me into the playoffs where I'm watching all the time. The frustration is the NBA has spread them out where you can't get half of them. If you don't have Paramount or whatever, it's driving me crazy. They reel you in and then they let you down.
I got to be honest. I did watch Game 7 of the Magic yesterday, and I think that may have been the first half a game I've watched, because exactly what you're saying, NBC Peacock,
Yeah. I mean, who's going to subscribe to something like that just for an NBA game? I mean, you're not going to do it.
But the Peacock people think you will, and I mean, look, they've got their business situations, whatever it is. I don't know. I will say
Peacock
I've never.
Poppycock. How's that?
Well, that's. I'm one of those people that would love to watch Game 7s, especially. But if it's not on regular cable, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not. There are games. I watched the Gators play baseball twice this weekend and softball twice this weekend on streaming services, but I could leave it on there. I wasn't looking to constantly change. It's just.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what you care about. I don't care about the NBA at all. Right now, but
well, you don't have a team, Pat, that you've really followed for a long time. So,
but
I go back to the '70s with the Knicks, with Willis Reed and Walt Frazier and all them.
Who was it that shot the cock-leg jumper?
Cassie Russell.
Cassie Russell, cock-leg jumper. Yeah. Always bent his knees when he shot that jump shot.
Oh yeah.
All right. So just to let everybody know, Robbie is a big Knicks fan. He's always been a big Knicks fan. He's not jumping on the bandwagon.
No.
And I will say this. I usually root against the Knicks because it's New York.
Yeah, usually I do too against New York.
But
the Knicks are different.
I am not rooting for the Pistons, even though Cade Cunningham is a really fun player to watch. I will root for the Knicks. So you got that. That should be the karma that puts you over the top right there, Robbie.
Okay, maybe I'll take it. Well, let's go with it. Let's ride.
All right, number 2 on Yes, No, Where, or Maybe with Robbie Andreu. Cameron Young has won 2 of his last 4 events, but Nelly Korda is hotter.
As a player or as a person?
You can take that however you want.
Okay, I'm not going to go that route, though, because I'll get in trouble probably. But I think she's hotter because to win 3 of 6 is really an incredible streak to have.
And one of them a major, yeah.
Yeah.
Although their majors, I have no idea what their majors are.
Yeah, I don't either. But his is impressive. I mean, you know, to win the players and come back less than a month later and win again against a pretty strong field, you know, that's very impressive. He is definitely having a great year and a guy that has really come on.
I have to be honest, I didn't watch any of it. There's a number of reasons why. One was
there was one big reason, but the thing is, Pat, too, got pushed through an early start because of the rain. He had the big lead, so there was really little or no drama to watching on Sunday afternoon. So
and yet,
I only watched a little bit.
Second hole called a penalty on himself, so that's why golf is an honorable game.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know that I've ever called a penalty on myself. Have you?
When I hit the water, I do.
That's one. All right.
There's no way around that
I'm dropping, but I think the ball. Actually, this is my ball. That's a Mark Garneau trick there.
Yeah, I think.
That's my ball in the trap. Yeah, I didn't hit it in the marsh. It's my ball in the trap. It says range on it. How can it be your ball?
Hey, it's my ball.
We're going back to the olden days of St. Augustine.
Oh yeah.
All right, Robbie, number 3 on Yes, No, Where, Maybe, Florida, right now is 12th in RPI, okay?
Yeah.
They have 8 games minimum left. Florida will host a regional.
I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and say, yes, I think they will, Pat, but you know, with this team, though, you have no idea what you're going to get.
No.
I mean, when they blew the game on Friday night, I figured, well, okay, they're going to get swept and things are getting bad and people are getting all over the players and you know, O'Sullivan. But then they come back and play
O'Sully, I thought.
Yeah, O'Sully, yeah. So then they come back and play 2 great games and knock the cover off the ball, 7 home runs yesterday. So this is a team that you don't want to face in the postseason, I don't think. I think they're a very dangerous team, but when they're not very dangerous, they're only dangerous to themselves. It depends on which one you're going to get.
It's the weirdest ride I've ever seen for Florida.
It is. It's incredible.
And I guarantee you, Tuesday night, they got North Florida. That's an L right there.
I mean, that's almost a guarantee, Pat.
Yeah.
It'll be like a 5-2 game, something like that.
They've got 3 quad 4 losses and 16 quad 1 wins, which nobody else has. Nobody's even close to that.
No,
it's
Florida,
been a
Florida
run.
in the midweek is just it's a different team in the midweek.
I heard they're throwing you tonight or tomorrow night. They're throwing you tomorrow night.
I'll give it a shot.
You had that good wiffle ball. You could spin it off your.
Remember the wiffle ball? We threw a knuckleball with a wiffle ball. It had some major break on it.
It did. Robbie and I, this is how sad our lives were. Instead of being out instead of being out looking for girls or anything, Robbie and I would play wiffle ball in the courtyard of our apartments for like hours of wiffle ball. Sad.
Yeah, and you wonder why we never had dates of any kind.
Then we would go home and drink Bourbon Deluxe.
Yeah. God, what a great life, Pat. Give it to me and give it. Let me go back.
I would go back to that in a heartbeat. Yeah. No responsibility. You don't have to worry about anything. Nobody mad at you.
Not that we knew of, anyhow.
I think Karen and Jill were kind of like babies, and they were thinking, I'm mad at somebody, I don't know who.
Yeah.
And eventually they grew up and found out who it would be.
Yeah, they found out the hard way.
Yeah.
But Pat, do you think they make bourbon deluxe anymore?
Good question. I think I saw it like 4 or 5 years ago in a bar, and I didn't order it, believe me.
That was some good rock gut.
It's rock gut. It was like, I think it was like $8 for like a quart.
Yeah.
And you come home and you were set for the weekend.
But you make those 50-50 drinks and that bottle would go quick.
Woof. I'm getting an ulcer just thinking about that.
Yeah, I am too. And a headache.
Yep. All right, Robert Andrew, we'll let you go.
I'll
Appreciate
see you,
you, buddy.
Okay,
All right.
see you.
Okay, let's get to our Adams Ribco Gator of the weekend. And look, I didn't have a lot of options, and to me there was only one option. It's Caden McDonald. I mean, if you don't know all that happened over the weekend with Caden McDonald, and Caden, by the way, come in, if you want to come into Adams and have lunch, I'm buying. It's a standing offer. Nobody's taken me up on it yet. I think Zach at one point is going to go, hey, I'm Caden McDonald. I'm going to walk. He's going to try to get free lunch. But anyway, if you don't know what happened on Saturday, and I mean, look, Florida isn't a bad place at this point. They have just blown a Friday night game on the road. Now they're playing Saturday night. Caden McDonald, who's, I think had 30 at-bats going into the game and, had pitched a little bit, but he comes in, gets 4 hits in the game, including 2 homers. And we showed one of the homers earlier. And then the next day gets 2 more hits, but also in the first game, pitched 3 innings of shutout ball when Florida's bullpen needed help. Florida's bullpen has been erratic all year, like everything about this team, but they needed something, and Caden McDonald delivered. That's why I think he's a unanimous choice for our Adams Ribco Gator of the weekend. And keep it going, Caden. I mean, every year it seems like this happens with Florida, where they have somebody who comes out of nowhere. Oh, is he still on the team? And then all of a sudden, Ashton Wilson a couple of years ago, even Cags. Because Cags, we didn't know about Cags. And he was out with the ACL. He starts hitting for Florida, and we're like, okay, whatever. And all of a sudden he's hitting bombs, and we're like, why is this guy not been playing? Well, you got to, when they're ready, you play them, I guess is the way to go with it. So he is our Adams Ribco Gator of the weekend, Caden McDonald, and certainly deserves it. Let's get to our Leonardo's and Millhopper quick pick. Some of you got some things right this weekend. Not a lot of qualifiers. We need to get some more qualifiers. This is going to be an interesting one, brought to you by Leonardo's Pizza of Millhopper. OKC is a 15.5-point favorite over the Lakers tomorrow night. 15.5 is a lot of points to give up in an NBA game. However, and I think I don't know. I don't know where I'd go on that. We'll give you that, and we'll give you Florida UNF, and I got to give it to you because I have no idea. Florida could lose 8-3. I have no idea with this baseball team. So Florida UNF, straight up, those are the two. You can qualify twice. We're going to make a poll probably next Monday, I think is what we're leaning on, next Monday. So that is our Leonardo's at Millhopper quick pick. You'll have a chance to win $25 at Leonardo's Pizza, the place where you can get a dual sandwich. Let's get to our BMI TeleMed. Overachiever of the week, brought to you by our friends at BMI TeleMed. Achieve and maintain with BMI TeleMed, your weight loss specialist, 727-383-1677. Give them a call. Tell them Pat Dooley sent you. You get a discount on your order. Our BMI TeleMed Overachiever of the week, I'm going to give it to, and I know I'm going to say her name wrong, but I'll just say Sherry. Oh, Sherry, baby. Sherry Davery, I believe is her name, who is a trainer of the horse that won the Derby. Now, she is the first female trainer to win the Derby, and that is a great accomplishment. She also is somebody who came up just like being, right on the grounds and doing all this little stuff, doing the little things to get back. I can't tell how many young people do the things that people want you to do, not what you want to do. Because eventually you'll get to where you want to do. They're going to give you the job that you want to do. But if you do the little things that they want you to do, it's going to do better for you. And that's what she did. She worked her way up, and now she's a winner. So she is our BMI TeleMed Overachiever of the weekend. Let's move along to our Hesser and Kipke 3 things. Hesser and Kipke, with over 50 years of combined legal experience in North and Central Florida, Hesser and Kipke is your place for bankruptcy, workers' compensation, and family law. Call or text Ken and Jennifer at 352-339-9920, Hesser and Kipke. I got to be honest with you. I was this close to going out to lacrosse on Saturday for the final against Colorado. Instead, the rain cleared out, and I said, hey, it'll be perfect out in the golf course. So let's go play golf. It was beautiful out there. Nice day. It was not hot. And I forgot about lacrosse. You can't listen to it on the radio, so maybe you can. I don't know. Anyway, I forgot all about it till this morning, and I had to look it up. I go, what happened with lacrosse? I assume they won. No, they didn't. They lost to Colorado. So Florida did not win the Big 12 tournament championship, but they won the regular season. They still have had a great year, and we'll talk a little bit later about what they're going to be doing going forward. But that was a little bit surprising. But Colorado's pretty good too, But I'll give Colorado a lot of credit. You come across country, basically, and do what they did and win those 2 matches. That's good for them. So let's get to number 2 on our Hesser and Kipke 3 things. More bad news for teams in the state of Florida, and that is the Lightning get beat in Game 7 against the Canadians. And the Canadians took 9 shots and won 2-1. That's pretty good percentage. You get 2 goals and 9 shots. That's pretty good. But that's what they did. And 2-1 win with 9 shots. And the Lightning are done. So there's no teams from the state of Florida still playing postseason. Am I right? Because all the hockey teams are out, right?
Yeah.
All the basketball are out. Yeah. And we stink. We stink at sports. All right, let's get number 3 on our Hesser and Kipke 3 things. And I know Ken Hesser's happy because the 76ers knocking the Celtics out. I'm kind of happy about that too. The weird thing is, look, let me just go off on a tangent here. I used to hate the Celtics because I was a Lakers guy. Then they get Al Horford, and I can't root against Al Horford. Probably my favorite player to ever play at Florida. Watch their games, root for them. It's kind of hard for me, but I do because it's Al Horford. Al Horford is not there anymore, so I'm rooting against him again. All right, let's get to number 3 on our Hesser and Kipke 3 things. And I just talked positively about a tennis player. However, I think it's important to bring up the fact that Florida men and women's tennis teams are out in the second round. Now, for the women to have come back, from not even making the tournament last year, they're trying to rebuild the program. But, obviously, Florida men's and women's tennis is not what it used to be. It used to be, we're not that far removed from Florida winning the national title in men's tennis with Ben Shelton and Sam Riffus. Women, were dominated in the 90s. And now they're out in the second round, and they're like, it was a good year. Only went out in the second round. What happened? Did everybody just catch up, or did Florida not get the right guys in there? Roland Thornquist was a great coach. He left. I don't know. I just think it's something that needs to be discussed. Not by anybody out there who doesn't care about tennis, but I care about the Gators in every sport. I don't care what sport it is. If they're keeping score, we're gonna care who wins. So it's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Hesser and Kipke, 3 things. We appreciate Hesser and Kipke. Let's move along to our Los Landeros smooth move of the week, and which is from Los Landeros Tequila. Go beyond with Los Landeros Tequila and Urban Light, as smooth as an Urban Meyer special teams play. That was the original slogan I came up with. Okay. Well, the way the pairings worked out here, and again, we're going to talk a lot of postseason sports here. Our smooth move of the weekend is how they've got it set up that Florida and Alabama will play. And now, they didn't set it up, but it's still smooth in that if Florida and Alabama do play, and that Florida's got to beat Texas A&M to do that, and Alabama's got to win a game too, they will play in the semifinals. Who has the most SEC tournament? I'm talking softball. Sorry, I didn't mention that. Who has? And I do that to my wife all the time. I'll go, that guy hit a homer, and then that guy walked, and then that guy did this. They go, what sport are you talking about? What team? Oh, Florida baseball. Anyway, Florida and Alabama could face, and they have the most SEC tournament championships, each 6 apiece. Although the NCAA website has it wrong, but it's true, 6 apiece. So that could be interesting if they, the winner gets into the final, and if you win the final, probably against Oklahoma, you would have the most wins in the tournament history. So that's a smooth move brought to you by Los Landeros. Let's get to our Gallo Car Wash sponge of the weekend, and that is the University of Colorado. And the reason that they are our Gallo Car Wash sponge of the weekend is somehow they came to Gainesville, won a game, and next thing you know, what? They get to host the NCAA tournament. And guess what? Florida's got to go out there. Florida just lost to them and has to go out there. But Florida's got to get past Denver first, 9 o'clock on Friday, by the way, if you're wondering. The winners would play Sunday at 3 o'clock. It's in Boulder. Now, I'm not going to complain about Boulder. In fact, my wife and I are going out to Denver and going to Red Rock to see the Avett brothers. We're going out there for other reasons, but the Avett brothers are going to be there, so we're going to go out there. And she's working, but I love that area. I love that area, and I'm sure that they'll have a good time out there. They'll enjoy the mountains and everything, and high altitude may not be to their best, but it'll be interesting to see. But it is kind of spongy that Colorado ends up with the regional. I guess it was the winner gets the regional or the NCAA tournament. I don't know. I don't know how it all works. And that's the way I'm going to leave that. All right, let us get to, that's our Gallo Car Wash sponge of the weekend. Let's get to our Mark Gaida presents the 12. Mark Gaida from Pepin Realty presents the 12 every Monday here, where we talk about 12 things that are important. And in this case, we're going to go with RPI for baseball, which has changed a lot, but we'll give it to you right now. UCLA still number 1. They're playing great. Georgia Tech is number 2. There's a lot of people that think that Georgia Tech and Georgia are going to end up in the same regional. It'll be Georgia Tech 1 would be the 1 and Georgia the 2. We'll see if that works out. Texas is number 3. Auburn is number 4. I remember when Auburn sucked so bad like 3 years ago. They were awful. But they rallied. Alabama 5, so that's 3 of the top 5. North Carolina 6. Florida State, everybody's least favorite team, is number 7. A&M, another SEC team, 8. Mississippi State, another SEC team, 9. Southern Cal, number 10. Southern Miss. Southern Miss, some reason, is always in the top 12, it feels like, in baseball RPI. And the number 12 team is your Florida Gators. Yay! With those 2 wins over Oklahoma, which count as quad 1 wins. Florida has now got 15 quad 1 wins and 3 quad 4 losses. It's a teeter-totter. It's not a roller coaster. It's a teeter-totter. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. It's driving me nuts. So we'll see what happens Tuesday night. And let's wrap it up with that. All right, we'll give you all of our, and appreciate Mark Gaida. Let's get to our Oh, I'm sorry. We got to get to our Learner Law Club team of the weekend. And I'm trying to get this information off Instagram. They posted a lot of the club team awards, but somebody let me down. I'm not going to give names. But anyway, Learner Law, the place to go when you need to get your closing done. We're going to talk about the Atlanta Hustle, the Southeast Ultimate Frisbee team. If you go to watchufa.com and you're interested in going up there, they start their home season May 16th. So the Atlanta Hustle, watchufa.com if you want to go and see what their home schedule is. Maybe you're up in that area and you want to go out and see them play. That'll be fun to watch. We'll get all that other information for you a little bit later. Let's go to our Swamp Games of the Week, brought to you by the Swamp Restaurant, the place to go to watch these games and to have a great time. Food, drink specials, unbelievable there at the Swamp. Tuesday night, Florida, UNF. It's a big game. I don't know that it's a big game, but it's like every big game's a big game for Florida at this point. Florida plays UNF. It's at 6:30. It is on the SEC Network. So a lot of you won't go because it's on the SEC Network, but go out there. I mean, there's a possibility you only have 4 games left. I think they'll host, but there's a possibility you only have 4 home games left. So go out there and watch them. I may go out there and watch them. Let's get to the NBA. Tonight, we have 2 games tonight. It is a quick turnaround. The Knicks are at Philadelphia, 8 o'clock on NBC. And then San Antonio at 9:30 against Minnesota. That's on NBC Sports Network and Peacock. Now, let's just put it this way. It's a 9:30 game. You think I'm staying up till 11 to watch NBA basketball? No, but so it's not as important to me as it may be to you. Tuesday, Detroit, Cleveland at 7. That's on the NBC Sports Network and Peacock. And then the 8:30 game is OKC, LA Lakers on NBC. Not surprising. I bet all the Lakers games end up on NBC. Anyway, softball. If you're into the softball and you're going to watch the early games, Tuesday, 1 o'clock they start, 3 games in. Wednesday, 11 o'clock they start, 4 games in, and you'll find out who Florida plays. Florida plays Thursday at 11 a.m. Just about as we're finishing up this show. The semis and finals are on ESPN. Those games are on the SEC Network. Semis and finals are on ESPN Friday and Saturday. So we got plenty to watch still. There's a lot of golf coming up and everything. So we'll have a good time. Appreciate Zach for doing a great job today. The author, I'm going to call him the author from now on. Author Jack. And appreciate him for doing a great job. Of course, Coach Spurrier got him back. That was always good. He's always fun to talk to. And, of course, Robbie Andreu on Yes, No, Where. Maybe we'll be back with another show on Thursday. Chico, Carlos Alvarez will join us. Until then, for another Dooley Noted podcast presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, coming to you from the Meldon Law Gator Studios, I am Pat Dooley. And I am deep, and I am way back, and I am out of here.